Hermes, the crown jewel of so-called Parisian elegance, is facing its most humiliating scandal to date. Allegations have exploded across social media and news outlets that Hermes CEO Axel Dumas has been detained following a series of damning leaks from Chinese manufacturers. And let me be crystal clear.
They feel cheaper. No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermes, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary and show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
I believe this isn't just a minor hiccup for Hermes. This is a head-on collision with the truth. For years, Hermes has been worshipped as the gold standard of luxury, parading their heritage like some untouchable symbol of class and tradition. But now,
de l'entrée, où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce, je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et je pense qu'on est vraiment là pour apprendre un métier et pas des tâches.
Those carefully polished brand values are crumbling right in front of us. The arrest, if true, would mark a seismic shift in how the world views luxury leadership. I believe this scandal isn't just exposing a man, it's exposing a machine built on illusion. Let's talk about what really cracked this wide open, the receipts.
Alligator Farms has workshops in France, and most bags are made by a single artisan.
Chinese manufacturers, the very people Hermes allegedly relied on in secret, are now flipping the script. I believe they're done playing silent partners in Hermes' little French fairy tale. These factories claim they've been mass-producing everything from belts to the Holy Grail.
Had a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Birkin bags, without ever receiving public credit, all while Hermes plastered "Made in France" on the tags and charged 5 figures per piece. This isn't some minor mislabeling issue. This is a full-blown brand betrayal. The whole image Hermes sells, that of elite French artisans delicately hand-stitching every handbag under the lavender sun in Provence.
It requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it on the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6.
Is being dragged through the mud. I believe these manufacturers finally reached their breaking point, and they're bringing the receipts to prove it. They're not just exposing outsourcing, they're exposing deception at the highest level. Here's what really gets me.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a "Made in France" or "Made in Italy" label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
Hermes has made billions off the idea that their products are handcrafted by elite French artisans who've supposedly trained for years to qualify for that little orange box. It's the emotional manipulation for me. They don't just sell leather, they sell a fantasy.
None of the brands these creators mention, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, especially Hermes, need to go to China for production. And here is why. Labels like "Made in France" and "Made in Italy" comes with strict restrictions. And brands at that level don't risk compromising that. It's just not worth it.
Old world European luxury, handmade perfection, and exclusivity so pure, you have to earn the right to buy it. And now that illusion has been ripped apart. I believe it's outright betrayal. If these Chinese manufacturers are telling the truth, and it looks like they've got the proof, then that Birkin bag isn't French at all. It's a global export wrapped in a French lie.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
And the worst part? Consumers were brainwashed into believing they were buying centuries-old craftsmanship, not an outsourced product slapped with a prestige markup. I believe this moment should be the end of luxury marketing as we know it. Stop selling lies as lifestyle. If the reports are true and Axel Dumas has been detained,
it starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
then this isn't just another CEO caught in corporate misconduct. It's the fall of a luxury emperor. Think about it. This man comes from the Hermes dynasty. His bloodline is the brand, and now he's allegedly being dragged into court over claims that the company lied to billions of consumers and built its empire on outsourcing and exploitation.
Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Beauty from Italy. The second is Hermès from Germany. And the third is Hermès from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil au Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called sealed edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD.
I believe this arrest, if confirmed, is going to send shockwaves through every luxury boardroom in the world. Because if someone as protected, powerful, and pedigreed as Dumas can fall, then no one is safe. This isn't just about one man getting caught. It's about an industry being cornered.
You can continue to expose all of these retailers. Nobody's going to care.
I am about to crash. Y'all would never catch me in nothing fake. No fake earrings, no fake bracelets, no fake shoes, nothing fake designer. It's going to be a no for me.
Hermes spent decades positioning itself above scrutiny, but now that ivory tower is cracking. And trust me, people are watching closely to see who falls next. This is where things get even more twisted. Hermes isn't sitting quietly while the truth leaks out. They're lawyering up and lashing out. Reports say the company has filed lawsuits against the Chinese manufacturers, accusing them of defamation and illegally using Hermes' intellectual property. But to me, this isn't about protecting trademarks. It's about damage control. I believe Hermes is trying to intimidate these manufacturers into silence, the same way big brands have always tried to squash anyone who threatens the illusion. But here's the kicker. These manufacturers didn't just talk. They brought receipts, contracts, emails, production documents. They didn't whisper behind the scenes. They exposed it all in broad daylight. And instead of owning up, Hermes doubled down, painting themselves as the victim in a scandal they very well may have orchestrated. I believe this lawsuit strategy is a desperate Hail Mary to protect their fantasy, but it's not working. The more they push, the more it looks like they've got something to hide. These lawsuits aren't silencing the story, they're fueling it. Let me just say this, the internet is not buying Hermes' excuses. This scandal has exploded on TikTok, Reddit, and every major social platform, and the tone is ruthless. People are calling Hermes out for being manipulative, deceptive, and completely out of touch with reality. Users are making side-by-side comparisons of so-called authentic Hermes pieces and Chinese-produced versions. They're tearing apart the brand's marketing claims and pulling receipts from old interviews, brand statements, and influencer promos. I believe it's fascinating to watch because this isn't just backlash, it's a cultural reckoning. Consumers are finally seeing the luxury market for what it is, a well-oiled machine that sells exclusivity while hiding the truth about how products are made. And the betrayal is deep. You've got people who saved up for years to buy one of these bags, thinking they were investing in timeless, handcrafted French artistry. Now they're finding out it might have been made in a mass production facility in China and not even acknowledged for it. I believe that sting is what's setting social media on fire. People aren't just angry, they're disgusted. And once that disgust sets in, there's no turning back. Brands like Hermes have built empires on trust and elitism. When that trust collapses, so does the empire. Let's not sugarcoat it. Hermes is standing at the edge of a cliff. These allegations aren't just messy headlines, they're a direct threat to the very identity Hermes has spent decades and billions building. I believe this situation could be catastrophic for their market position. We're talking about a brand that doesn't even put products online because they thrive on scarcity, mystique, and status. And now that carefully built exclusivity is unraveling thread by thread, investor confidence is already starting to wobble. When you build your stock value on a fantasy of rarity and prestige, and someone comes in and exposes mass production behind the curtain, that's not just embarrassing, it's dangerous. The illusion that justifies a $20,000 handbag falls apart. I believe this could spark a domino effect. If the claims are backed up with more proof, you'll see consumers pull back, you'll see resellers panic, you'll see loyalists question what they're actually paying for. Because when people realize the only thing separating a Birkin from a bag on Alibaba is a label and a PR strategy, that's when the entire pricing model collapses. This isn't just a scandal, it's a threat to the core of their financial ecosystem. Let's not pretend this is Hermes' first brush with controversy. It's not. The brand has had skeletons in its closet for years, and I believe it's finally catching up to them. Back in 2011, they were rocked by reports of employees running internal counterfeit operations, literally making and selling fake Birkins using company materials. Think about how wild that is. Hermes wasn't just dealing with knockoffs from outside. The fraud was happening in-house. And then there were those legal fights over what defines authenticity, especially in the resale market. This is a brand that polices every inch of its image, but underneath that pristine surface has been a mess of hidden problems. I believe what's happening now isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern, a history of cover-ups, denials, and damage control. They've gotten away with it for years because people were too in love with the name to question it. But now the cracks are too big to ignore. This new wave of allegations isn't shocking in a vacuum. It's shocking because it confirms what critics have been saying for years. Hermes has always had a dirty underbelly. It just finally got dragged into the light. What's happening with Hermes is just the tip of the iceberg, and I believe the rest of the luxury industry knows it. That's why so many of them are quiet right now. Because if Hermes, the supposed pinnacle of old-world craftsmanship, can get exposed for outsourcing and misrepresentation, then who's really safe? I believe this scandal is setting off alarms inside every major luxury house from Paris to Milan. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, they all rely on this exact same myth. Handcrafted, limited, and dripping with elite status. But now the public's eyes are opening. People are realizing that made in Italy or made in France might just be a label slapped on after parts were made in China or Bangladesh. I believe we're about to see a flood of consumer backlash, not just against Hermes, but against the entire high-end fashion system that's been playing this game for years. Consumers are angry, not because items are made abroad, but because they were lied to. Outsourcing isn't the scandal, the cover-up is. And now that the curtain's been pulled back, brands that have built their empires on mystery and misdirection are scrambling. This could change everything from pricing strategies to marketing narratives to how and where production actually happens. I believe we're on the brink of a reckoning that could reshape what luxury even means. This moment isn't just about Hermes or Axel Dumas. This is about the fall of a fantasy that's been sold to us for generations. For decades, consumers have been told that luxury means craftsmanship, exclusivity, and heritage. But what we're seeing now is that luxury has often meant smoke and mirrors, slick branding campaigns hiding cut corners, offshored labor, and inflated price tags based on fiction. I believe Hermes got caught because they flew too close to the sun. They pushed the myth too far, and now they're burning in it. But make no mistake, this is a warning shot to the rest of the industry. The age of blind consumer worship is over. People want proof, not promises. They want real transparency. not curated Instagram videos of craftsmen in sunlit ateliers. If brands want to survive this cultural shift, they have to start treating their customers with respect, not contempt. Hermes may survive this, but the damage is done. The illusion has cracked, and in that crack, the truth is pouring out. I believe this is the start of a new chapter in fashion, one where luxury is earned through honesty, not just branding. And honestly, it's long overdue.